Hey guys, Casual Crono here. I was looking through the superboss list on the Another Eden wiki, and it's a little annoying to, like, did I fight this boss? Did I not fight this boss? I don't know. But I was looking through, and I think everything that I have access to, because some of the fishing bosses I don't, I think I had cleared pretty much everything from tier 9 down, and I think I've gotten everything on tier 10 completed. Most of tier 11 I've done. There's a few I have not, and there's still, at the moment, it's May 2025, there's still Kaputnik on tier 12 and unranked Edaxian Xenon Ogre's Shadow. And I know I haven't done either of them yet. But when I was looking, I saw that the Demon Nebrione, I think that's how it's pronounced, is a tier 9 superboss. And I'm like, I don't remember if I had ever cleared that one. I don't know what the proper ingredient is. Anyway, the Demon Nebrione, you have access to him if you collect all of these Souleater weapons. And this is actually the last one. I don't know what the proper ingredients are. I know we're making beef stew. Let's try. I'm not sure if it, I wonder if it matters. In order to get the Souleater hammer, you have to complete this quest that starts in Acetul. Okay, I guess that was not beef stew. Anyway, once I figure out the combination, then, let's see, first ingredient is good. It has to be beef. It's beef stew. Alright, I tried onion, so let's try tomato. Dark pepper again. Warm over lava rock. Oh, he said something different. Sweet. Okay. Well, if you don't know, apparently that's the combination. Anyway, this hammer and you have to have your beef stew mastery at 5 stars when you complete this quest, according to the wiki, and he gives me the Souleater hammer as a reward. Yep. Yay. This is all from the Crown of the Pale Dawn Symphony, so it involves the cooking stuff with Colette and all of those characters. Alright, so long story short, I realized I was only missing 2 weapons, the hammer and the bow is just in a hidden area in Asclepia Temple. So I should have all the weapons now. And let's go back to Ratle. That means I should, have access to Nebrione, which according to the wiki is a tier 9 superboss. Now tier 9s these days, if you have one of the meta characters, they're usually, I hate to say it, but they're kind of easy. If you don't have one of the meta characters, tier 9 is still a very annoying fight, possibly undoable depending on what characters you have access to. So I'm going to set up a team and we're going to test out Nebrione. I wanted to record this because Nebrione is not a character, or not a fight that can be repeated. If I beat him, then I can't go back and find other teams that work against him. So it's kind of a one-shot deal. He only has 209 million health. I say only because in 2025 terms, that's really not that much anymore. I know if I was still playing in 2023, I'd be like, nope, pass, that's too much. But nowadays, a lot of characters can... I mean, we're fighting super bosses with like 50, 100 billion health now. According to the wiki, he has an 80% and 40% HP stopper, and he randomly nullifies weapon damage types. So, you know, your slash weapons might get nullified, or magic might get nullified, or blunt, or piercing. And it looks like he will eventually... He starts off the fight with one type already nullified, and then he's going to nullify a second type. So my challenge is to create a team that can hit his HP stoppers and keep doing damage if he ends up nullifying 2 out of 4 weapon types. So, I've been playing around with a water team. Potential water team, I guess, because I do have LCLAS. I could awaken, or Stellar Awaken Mighty, and his mana is a tank. They're all light characters versus my current Shadow water team. But enough of that for now. So let's get rid of them. So here is my approach. I want to have characters that are very powerful, that can do a lot of damage, whether there's a zone or not a zone or whatever. Xianghua, obviously, is one of those types. She does magic damage. I am going to grab Souleater for slash damage. Her sword and heart should easily hit an HP stopper. We are going to grab for tanking Alma. So she has piercing, because the wiki doesn't quite describe if it says, here's what the wiki says: nullified attacks are stored as strength. It gains 1 stack of overlimit at the turn end per move nullified. So for example, if it starts off the fight with sword nullification, and she keeps attacking with her sword, slash, nullification. If she keeps attacking with her sword, it's going to stack this thing called overlimit, which improves its physical and type resistance per stack. It's a maximum of 5 stacks. And it's a per move basis. So, Souleater, her Photon Messiah, attacks twice. So that would be 2 of the stacks. And it caps, as I said, at 5 stacks. Once it hits 5 stacks, it uses something called overlimit. It uses something called Mystic Art and resets the overlimit stacks. And Mystic Art does a non-type attack times 7 on all enemies and removes all enemy buffs. So that was kind of the logic on choosing Alma. If it attacks 7 times, I need someone who can tank right away, and Alma is basically invincible for 2 turns. So we have magic, we have slash, we have pierce, we need a blunt. And what I was thinking for blunt, so I do have options. I'm thinking let's try Ewan.
What we doing today, boys?
So now we need to equip them. And let's see what kind of gear overlaps. Oh, she's already equipped. Nice. Good. Nice. Okay. So we have magic, slash, blunt, and pierce. Sidekicks, let's throw in the usual Tetra and Guns. Tetra, Guns. Now, backup characters. We need some characters in the reserves. Alma, she's not going to do... Well, I mean, the boss only has 200 million health. And yes, I use the word only because I'm used to fighting bosses that have a lot more. I realize that 200 million is a huge obstacle for many players that aren't that far along. So I don't mean any disrespect by it. So Alma's not a huge damage dealer. If she does counterattacks, I mean, you can make her a damage dealer, but I'm thinking the other 3 characters are going to do more damage. And if he only nullifies 2 types, that means one of those 3 characters should be okay the entire fight. So we look at any abilities that might overlap. We have Eastern, Scientist, Synth, Staff, and KMS. We know Staff's not going to overlap. Sweet Tooth, Clergy, West. So we have an Eastern and a Western character. Sword and Crystal. Glasses, Sweet Tooth, Minor, Hammer, Weapons, Cursed Fire. Alright, I see Sweet Tooth overlapping for 2 of the big damage dealers. So, and that's really the only thing I see overlapping. I've used Suzette, I've used CL Alter. In fact, if you use the personality filter, let's find Sweet Tooth. There it is. Any of these characters could count. And what I would want to do, I would want to pick a character that either is a sword user or a hammer user, since those are my 2 Sweet Tooths. Doesn't look like I have any sword users, so problem solved. We have CL. And Sweet Tooth, he's never going to be at max HP. So actually, let's switch to hammers. Let's do Power of Inferno. That way his damage will increase pretty much no matter what. His damage is fire type attacks, and that will definitely boost his damage. For the other Grasta, let's see if we can find something that might be helpful for everyone. Things like Resonant Power Shadow will improve damage for all Shadow users. And in this case, Shadow, 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 and Shadow. Alright, so CL is boosting Yuan's damage and a little bit of everyone's damage. So let's look at the other 2. We have Shanghua and Souleater. There was really no overlap, so it's basically just a matter of who do I feel like buffing. And I'm going to choose Shanghua. Oh yeah, I still have Sweet Tooth on. Because Fine and Palm both happen to have 4 Grasta slots unlocked. So let's... and pretty much all other characters have 3, so basically an extra Grasta to work with. Alright, Shanghua wants... we'll do Enhance if max HP, Staff. We'll do another Enhance at max... we'll do a low HP. See, I have no idea what to expect from this fight. I don't know if I'm going to cut through the HP stoppers and it's going to be an easy fight or not. I'm kind of talking my way through this, so this maybe you all can approach super bosses with the same type of thought process. Alright, we definitely need... there's another Enhance if max HP. And then, no matter what her health is at, there is one Grasta that is definitely always going to be active. And that is the Power of Void staff. So no matter what, Shanghua's damage is going to go up by 40% because I have that Grasta equipped. If her health is at max, it will be even more. If she's hurt, it will be this, but no matter what, there we go. So there we go, we just whipped up a team. We have Shanghua, who is going to probably Horizon the thing to death. We have Souleater, who we can Sword and Heart or Photon Messiah. She has some very powerful buffs as well. And we have Yuan, who can Lava Impact his way. The next check is Pain. Do I have a way to set Pain? Because they all have Pain Grasta, but it's not going to do any good if I don't have Pain. Well, none of these skills give pain. Souleater's Photon Messiah inflicts pain, and it's a guaranteed infliction. And Ewan has Fire Smash, which also inflicts pain, and it ignores target resistance. So I have 2 characters that can do pain. I have 1 character that guarantees survival for at least 2 turns, and I have some sidekicks. So I have a team that I think will do well against Nebrione. Now, as I said, Nebrione is a tier 9 superboss. It doesn't have as much health as a lot of the current stuff does. In order to access this boss, you must have gotten all of those Souleater weapons from the Crown of the Pale Dawn Ancient Evils subquest. And let's see what this fight is like. Remember, this is not a repeatable fight, so I can't show you other teams that might work. I'm just kind of guessing that this team will. I can't tell you how many years it's been since I started collecting the Souleater weapons. I really don't know why Cyrus is hesitant. Maybe the fact that we're holding on to Devil's Arms. I'd probably be a little nervous if I was about to do a ritual with a bunch of items called Devil's Arms. Oh, what a surprise. Someone wasn't who they projected themselves to be. Alright, let's see. Start of the fight. Alright, it does not say what he's immune to, if anything. Horizon seems to work. Aha! Slash. So, no slashes. Blunt is working, and well, I guess technically she's not really pierce, she's magic. There's a pierce attack. Okay, so in this case he is immune to slash. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to blow the AF bar. We're going to go ahead and we'll just do the 2s for now. Actually, we still need pain, which I guess even if he's null, we should still stick pain on him. You know, we're just going to do all the 3s, all the 2s, and then all the 1s. Might not work too well. Actually, let's just not. Let's just go ahead and Horizon. We will Promised Land. We'll Fire Smash. And Refraction Bullet. And we'll just see what happens. The first HP stopper was at 80%. Yep. Alright. Alma takes all the hits. So that part of the plan worked out. Alright, we should... I think it should... Let's see, oh, it shifts the barrier. Slash attacks will work now. Magic works. Blunt does not. Pierce does. See, I thought it added... Alright, well, we're going to Horizon. We're going to Photon. We're just going to go ahead and... I'm going to Lava Impact anyway because it reduces physical resistance. And we did Refraction Bullet, so we'll go ahead and Luster Glare. Maybe I should have blown the AF bar. Alright. On turn number 3, Alma is no longer going to be invincible. Well, maybe that was the 40% HP stopper. Alright, so we are now on turn 3. Alma is no longer in her Alchemaic High. I think he's at an HP stopper. Let's see. Horizon still works. No Photon Messiah. Lava Impact still works. Geist Nebula works. So let's do Apostle. Let's just do Lava Impact again, and I'm a little torn. Let's just go ahead and blow the AF gauge, and if she lunatics, she stacks 5 Arcana on herself, which means on the next turn she will re-enter Alchemaic High. So I don't know if we hit the HP stopper. I'm kind of thinking since he did that Mystic Art looking attack thing, we might have hit the 40% HP stopper. So we'll just do 1, 3, 1, and 0. 1, 3, 1, 0. And then just attack. Looks like the boss has been defeated. I'll just go ahead and rebuff, just in case. Maybe he has some type of final attack or something.
Yo, get your act together.
So I was under the impression he was going to be immune to 2 different types of weapon damage. And apparently not. Apparently he shifts around. Unless I just missed something during that fight. Well, that seemed to work. And that knocks out Nebrione, a tier 9 super boss. Oh, he's giving me back all those cursed weapons. And we'd be happy to take them. And quest complete. Alright, so you get 50 stones just for completing the quest. And being that that was a super boss, unlocked power of Devil's Arms. Nice. Shouldn't there be like an achievement for beating Nebrione? Maybe it's not showing up yet. Wow, okay. I guess not. Alright, well, you get 50 stones, I guess, just for doing the quest, so that's something, and I get bragging rights that I defeated the Demon Nebrione. But that was my approach to forming a team. I chose one of each weapon type, though I wasn't really thinking about it. Alma does magic damage, not piercing for the most part. And then I chose supporters that were able to support multiple characters, in the case of CL, with a personality type, Grasta, and then just otherwise just damage boosting Grasta in general. I had Tetra and Gunts. Gunts was selected for his aura. When I blew the AF gauge, which I figured I'd do at some point, all of my team stats would go up. And with Tetra, you get healing after every single turn. But that worked out. That was my approach. Obviously not too difficult, though I do realize that these are very powerful characters, and the boss itself, by today's standards, not quite as powerful as it might have used to be. But you can look at your own rosters and see if you have like a really strong magic user, maybe Yakumo or someone could work. A strong slash user, we have a bunch of those lately. Sesta AS, normal style Sesta, Souleater, Shiguri, Shion. You know, there's plenty of slash users out there that could probably fulfill that role. For blunt, I have Ewan, who's probably one of the most powerful blunt users, but there are others. Rufus AS, and I'm kind of drawing a blank. I don't have a formal blunt team. Oh yeah, Nilia, duh. She'd probably be really good on this fight, especially if she was able to put an exposed weakness on the boss during one of the turns. It's not immune to blunt. And then you just need a tank that can tank the hits. I chose Alma. Radius AS and her Chivalry would guarantee you survival for 3 turns. So if you have strong enough DPS characters, she might be a really good choice. Prey might be able to handle it. With his Indulgence, he could definitely survive 1 turn, so if you stalled the 2nd turn, you could recast Indulgence for each HP stopper, for example. So that's how I would approach this fight if you have not done it. I realize it's a very old fight. Probably many people have done it, or many people don't have access to it. But if you do, there you go. I hope this helps. Casual Crono, signing out.